Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, gorgeous. How are we?
Very good. A bit, I'm always talking about the weather. Bit
Mm.
chilly because it's January still.
It's
But
still raining. It's been
I'm
raining here
bringing the
for
sunshine. Oh, yeah. Bringing the
you,
sunshine on my bright yellow jumper.
you are. It
Yeah,
looks lovely. And I'm
thank you.
bringing the cosmos
The
in with the
night,
stars
yeah,
on
look at
my
that, the
jumper. So it's,
universe.
yeah, the time of recording is full moon, right?
Oh,
So
it is, it is.
technically aligned.
It's
Yeah.
very bright last night, I noticed.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
I don't know what, yeah.
So we've just been having, prior to this recording, a little conversation about all these cosmic things and all these
We
alignment
have,
things. And today we've decided to talk about confusion, right?
yeah. Mm.
Because I think this is something that, um, how do I say this without sounding like a real staunch person about this? Let me put it nicely.
You can be a staunch person. That's okay.
I do have strong beliefs, right,
Yeah,
about this. And I think that, and take what resonates, leave what doesn't, to anyone who's listening or watching this.
always about everything, every time.
Yeah, but I do think that there is a healthy boundary to be had with self-development and with all the stuff about manifestation and alignment and things like that. And I'll tell you for why. Because there is a lot of, so the reason I'm talking about that in the first place is we're kind of having a conversation about confusion, and we're doing all the right things and what we want isn't showing up. And so it could be termed manifestation, but actually the emotion underneath it that we're talking about is, why is it not happening? I don't understand, right? I'm doing
Mm.
this, I'm not getting the result, and all manner of things about that. And there is
Mm.
a very, very, I'm going to caveat this at the start by saying that what we're not saying at any point is that just because you're in a good vibe, everything is always going to be easy. Now, all this toxic positivity and spiritual bypassing in the self-help industry is extremely dangerous. So don't ever feel like it's your fault, because there are things outside of your control. That's
Yeah,
just a given.
the world is the world. Things are happening out there. I always think they should say at the beginning of the news, there are some awful things happening in the world that you have no control over whatsoever, and you will have reactions to that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you can do about lots of it, so just try and do
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they
Turn it off.
said that, yeah, exactly. You can turn it off. You can help if you want. Do what you're
Yeah.
called to do. But there's a lot out there that you have no say in, and you will be upset about it because it's awful, some of the stuff that's happening out there. And they always give you the awful stuff. And one tiny little bit at the end, oh, by the way, someone had some puppies. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, to try and make you feel better. But they dramatize everything. The music is all about fear and hooking you
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. And that's actually contributing to, I believe, to this confusion, because we are conditioned.
Mm.
And I don't care who's listening to this in terms of the powers that be. This is just my opinion. I feel like we're conditioned to bow down, right? To play nice, to do the right thing, to be a good person, all the rest of it, be a good girl. And when we try to step outside of that box and we try to pull our energy back and do all the right things and get into alignment, and then we still don't see the output that we want, it can leave us confused as a baseline, right? Not even
Yeah.
going into shame and all the rest of that. But for me, the confusion part is the part of the energetic vibration, if you like, the frequency that you then begin emitting, that deflects. And
Yeah.
it's easier said than done. I get it, right? When you're not seeing what you want and you're trying everything, it's very easy, it's very hard not to turn in on yourself and start beating yourself up with a big stick.
What am I doing wrong?
What am I doing wrong? Why can't I sort this out?
Yeah.
It's
All of
not
that.
working. It's not
Oh,
fair. Kevin, the teenager. I
yeah.
can't do everything. You do a
Exactly.
much better impression of Kevin than I do. But
Oh, I love it.
it's that underlying feeling of confusion, isn't it? It's like that. It, to me, and I'll get into how it feels for you in a minute, but to me, and if you're listening or watching, notice what confusion feels like for you in your body. It feels like a big clench, like a why, like, ugh, and that kind of clenching,
Yeah.
it's the flow. And in the moment, it's so hard not to do that. And I always say to people, if you grab a pen like that and then
Yeah.
just with any fanfare, just drop it. That's the kind of motion we're going for with the tapping of releasing confusion. because once you release that clench, it's easier for things to come into you,
Yeah.
not forgetting that there are things outside of your control as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Confusion is a really good state to be in as well, because it means you're disrupting your old beliefs. So it's I've been in workshops and things and seen kind of processes happening with people that are at the workshop, you know, kind of clearing things. And one of them, it was so like we were looking at I think it was valuing yourself or something like that, can't remember now. And it was so disorientating. I literally had to hold on to my chair because I felt like I was going to fall off. It was very bizarre.
Yeah.
But literally like a belief that I'm not good enough. When you start to unlock that, it's like if your whole belief system is based on the fact, well, I'm not good enough, therefore all of these things are true. When you start hitting the bottom one, turns out I am good enough.
Yeah.
Everything collapses and changes. And it's like,
Yeah.
I was thinking of the film Inception, you know, when everything starts to collapse as you go
Yes.
into right down to the core beliefs, right at the bottom. We usually have 2 or 3 core beliefs. I'm not good enough. If I try, I might fail. People might not like me. This kind of fundamental core human bit that we have, that all the other beliefs are built on. When you take the table leg away, they all collapse. Then you're going, what? If that's not true,
Yeah. Yeah.
how do I function? That means black is white.
Yeah. Exactly. And then that questions your identity, right? So it's like, well, hang on, I thought I was this person over here who could do this and couldn't do that and blah, blah.
Yeah.
If all that is completely wrong, then in fact, I was only working with a client on this yesterday, this whole state of, and she had experiences where she was saying, no, but it's pink. And somebody was going, no, it's black. And she's like, no, it's pink. I can see it. And her truth was negated so many times by people that it's left an imprint where she really struggles to trust her intuition now and her judgment.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you have a felt sense, or you see it with your eyes, or you intuit something and someone tells you it's wrong, what does that create but dissonance?
Exactly. And they've done studies. I remember doing in psychology A level, they'd like do a study. They had 30 people in a classroom and they said 2 + 2 is 4 on the board. And one of them was like, didn't know about the experiment. Everyone else said, no, it's 5. 2 + 2 is 5. And everybody else maintained that 2 + 2 equals 5. And the person who knew that 2 + 2 equals 4 changed their mind to join in with the crowd, even though we know 2 + 2 is 4, because everyone else was adamant about, oh, okay, I must be wrong because everybody else here is right.
And therein lies the problem. I must be wrong.
Yeah.
So all of the
all this evidence.
Exactly. All the evidence in the news. You have to behave this way, otherwise you are bad. You have to go here and worship, otherwise you are not a person of faith. You have to, I don't know, vote for this government, otherwise you've got loose morals or whatever, right? All of these things that say, oh, I'm getting a bit fired up now. All of these things
it's absolutely true. Yeah. Society,
right?
we've got to fit in with society, else we're going to be booted out. And that comes down to survival. We need to be part of the group in society, otherwise we're going to be out fighting lions on our own.
Yeah.
It's fundamental survival.
Ultimately, anything that kind of questions, whether it's an external questioning or an internal questioning of your identity, that level of confusion is horrific, because you can't get to the answer. It throws you into such a collywobble, as my mother would say, such a kind of not collywobble, conniptions she calls it. She's having conniptions, because it puts you in a stress response, right? Because everything you know is like that clench kind of feeling. I have this image of like clawing for land that is falling away. You can't get a loose grip because everything you thought was true isn't. And so you're playing by all these rules, you're doing everything right. And particularly on this full moon, right, as we release things that no longer serve us, and you can do that anytime. We've just talked about that too. And you can manifest anytime you like, but cosmic energy being what it is, you get a little bit of a helping hand. You're trying to do all these things. You're trying to make stuff happen. You're trying to create a new life. You're trying to improve your relationship, lose weight, whatever it is. And you're doing all the things and you're not seeing the outcome. What happens then? All of this piles up and we make it mean something about us.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. I'm
not
not
good
loved.
enough. I'm getting
a
it
burden.
wrong. Yeah.
I'm rubbish at everything.
Yeah.
And that's the state that then repels the vibration,
the
the
good
things
stuff.
that are a matching frequency, because we're in that state of, it's me. There's something fundamentally wrong with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so hard, isn't it? So
yeah.
now I've vented a little bit. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's probably a good idea if we did a little bit of tapping, eh? Because I'm getting a bit
always. Yeah, always.
Okay, so as if you're listening or watching, and this might be your first time, let's just recap. You don't have to go into too much detail. I'm not going to ask Jemima to divulge anything she doesn't want to tell me, but we're going to do it. Because I do my tapping in a very somatic way, right? So my mind body method is very much, okay, we're talking about confusion. Where is it in the body? And let's have a look at what that looks like, because it's safe, right? In the sense that when we deal with physical stuff, the attached emotion can dissolve and vice versa. So you don't have to necessarily say anything you don't want to say in this. But I would encourage you to just follow us along. So where I'm asking Jemima the question, think about what your answer would be to that and just tap along and either use my wording or change the wording, you know, for what's appropriate for you.
Yeah.
So, lovely Jemima.
Yeah.
Are you feeling confused about anything right now?
Yeah, I'm going to use the example of trying to sell my flat.
Okay.
Because I decided to sell it and set all the intentions. And this was back in May. So I hired my room back so that I could, because I had some clients come into my house. They're now going to the room, creating space. I'm going to be moving soon. I packed all of my winter stuff. Don't need this because I'll be living somewhere else by winter.
Yeah.
Like I set all these intentions and did the action to back up. Right, I'm going to sell it in like 6 weeks, it'll be gone. And I didn't get a single viewing or any interest for 6 months. Nothing at all. It was like, I did all the stuff you meant to do. I did the intentions. I did all the releasing. I did visualizations.
Yeah.
I did all the physical actions. I've got an estate agent. I did that, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Tumbleweed. And that's the kind of, what more do I have to do?
Yeah. Okay. So let's have a little tap on the side of the hand while we delve into that a little bit more. So thank you for sharing those details with us. So is the right word for you confusion anyway? Let's just check in with that.
There is a huge amount of confusion. There's other emotions as well. I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
I am. But confusion is big. It's like, I did all the things.
I'm seeing it now as a giant question mark.
Yeah, just
giant question mark in the air in front of you.
You know, hello.
Yeah.
Where's the
might want to watch this on YouTube because we're pulling some really funny faces here. So if you're listening on Buzzsprout, find us on YouTube and point and laugh. We are hilarious.
And I've had this situation, this feeling in other situations as well. I can apply it to different things where I've like go into something like, oh, I remember giving a talk like 10 years ago, setting up a talk and printing off my leaflets, telling them, going up, putting it out there, telling everyone, yeah, great, it's great. Expecting to put all the chairs out, got 2 people going, why have I only got 2 people? Like, it was just, I mean, that can mean a lot of things, but, all the energy and the excitement and the visualization of it's going to be full. I got the buzz. I felt the excitement. I was doing all the things you're meant to do. All that's in quotation marks, people are listening. Nothing. Why am I bothering comes up as well, what was the point of all of that?
Right. Yeah. And so if you are watching or you're listening and you've got a keen ear, you will notice by now that it's quite an emotive subject, right?
Yeah,
so,
a little bit.
I'm going to guide, I nearly called you Gemma then. I'm going to guide Jemima through some questions and then I'm going to use
right?
Tells me it's very confusing.
Who even am I?
What is it again? Who are you?
Yeah, really.
When you think about this confusion, where does it live in your body right now? Where is it?
So a lot in my heart, around in my chest, and up into my throat. And there's as you can tell, there's a lot of frustration and like sort of around my head. And this kind of, I keep like lifting my hands up to the heavens, going, "Come on, help me out, people."
Now, for the practitioners who might be listening to this is a nice little tip for you. If you're not a practitioner, I'll tell you anyway, because it's very useful. You've got two things going on here. You've got a deep sense of confusion that is big, but you've also got a very visceral feeling of frustration. And I'm going to ask you, Jemima, which is the strongest right now?
Okay, the feeling in my chest is stronger.
And is that confusion, or
That
is that
is the confusion. Yeah.
okay. The reason I
They're
ask,
so intermingled, but yeah, there's a lightness around my head and there's a heaviness in my heart. And the heaviness in my heart is stronger. And that is the feeling of confusion. And that's kind of pulling me down and just getting a bit Kevin.
It's not fair.
Not fair, darling.
So the reason I ask that is because
Hungry.
if there's more than one emotion going on, then the strongest one acts like an outer casing that kind of, like the outer case, the outside crunchy bit of a minstrel. It's like that. And until you crunch through it, you won't get to the inside bit because it'll be in the way. So I was just checking, but we'll go with confusion first. So I'm really confused right now.
I'm really confused right now.
And my heart is so heavy with it.
And my heart is so heavy with it.
And it's pulling me down.
And it's pulling me down.
And right here and right now.
And right here and right now.
All I choose to do is be present.
All I choose to do is be present.
Does that feel okay to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Repeating after me, you guys who are watching and listening, changing any words that don't resonate with you. I'm so confused right now.
I'm so confused right now.
And I can feel it in my body.
And I can feel it in my body.
And it's really strong.
And it's really strong and it's upsetting me.
It's upsetting me. Yeah. And right here and right now.
Right here and right now.
I'm just going to sit with all these feelings.
I'm just going to sit with all these feelings.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
Does that feel true?
Oh, no, I'm fine actually, because it's easing me really quickly. Okay. But I can.
It is easing, yeah.
Okay. It is easing.
So somebody must have been feeling uncomfortable because it came in really strongly, but that's
it did, and it's moving into my shoulders.
Okay.
It's like gone from like maybe an 8 to a 2. So yeah.
All right. So even though I still feel confusion.
So even though I still feel confusion.
In my body.
In my body.
I choose to relax and feel safe now.
Choose to relax and feel safe now.
Okay, and I'm going to go to the eyebrow. Take the gaps off. So up to the eyebrow. This confusion.
All this confusion.
Outside of the eye. It's been really upsetting me.
It's been really upsetting me.
Under the eye, because I don't understand what's happening.
Because I don't understand what's happening.
Under the nose, I'm doing all the things.
I'm doing all the things.
Chin, taking all the actions.
Taking all the actions.
Collarbones, doing all the visualization.
Doing all the visualization.
Under the arm, all the releasing.
All the releasing.
Top of the head, and tumbleweed.
And tumbleweed.
Do I sense a little bit of tension and frustration coming out there now?
Oh, frustration.
Okay, so how strong is that frustration?
About 150.
Okay, and where is it in the body?
In my throat and around my head.
Okay. I am so frustrated right now.
And a bit in my feet. I'm so frustrated right now.
Yeah, under the eye, all this intense frustration.
All this intense frustration.
Under the nose, I'm so frustrated with things.
I'm so frustrated with things.
Chin, doing all the right things.
Doing all the right things.
Collarbones, not getting what I want.
Not getting what I want. I'm being a good girl.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm being such a good girl.
I'm being such a good girl.
Top of the head, and I'm still not getting what I'm asking for.
Still not getting what I'm asking for. I've been asking really nicely.
Okay. Eyebrow. I'm a good girl.
I'm a good girl.
Outside of the eye, I've been asking really nicely.
Been asking really nicely.
Under the eye, and I've been open to receiving.
And I've been open to receiving.
Under the nose, releasing everything that's getting me stuck.
Releasing everything that's getting me stuck.
Chin, being open to all the new ideas.
Being open to all the new ideas.
Collarbones, and still nothing.
Still nothing.
And it's left me confused and frustrated as hell.
And it's left me confused and frustrated as hell.
Yeah, top of the head. And I'm just going to be open to any messages that want to come through right now.
I'm just going to be open to any messages that want to come through right now.
Okay, we're going to stop and check in there because we've done 3 big rounds with lots of changes. So just from a tapping point of view, you'll notice that the confusion fell away really quickly, and the real thing that came up was, well, the more intense thing came up that was frustration, which is usually the way, right? So what's happening with you now? What are you feeling predominantly?
I'm quite sad.
Okay,
And
let's tap while we talk about this.
yeah. And there's that disappointment coming in and sort of questioning, which is another layer of confusion. Is like, because you then go, well, maybe I shouldn't be selling. Like, what? But I have to. And really kind of go into this cycle of, oh, I must be getting it wrong.
Okay, understood. And where is all that living in your body? Anywhere particular?
In my throat. And yeah, back of my neck is picked up a bit.
Okay. So even though I've got all this sadness and self-doubt in my body,
even though I've got all this sadness and self-doubt in my body,
I want to start releasing it properly now.
I want to start releasing it properly now.
Even though I feel so sad about this.
Even though I feel so sad about this.
Because I've been so good.
Because I've been so good.
And it's kind of making me feel like there's something wrong with me.
It's making me feel like there's something wrong with me. But I'm getting it wrong.
Yeah.
There's not something wrong with me, but I'm getting it wrong, just to clarify.
That's a good reframe. Right here and right now.
Right here and right now.
I acknowledge that this feels like my truth.
I acknowledge that this feels like my truth.
Even though I feel like I'm getting it wrong.
Even though I feel like I'm getting it wrong.
That makes me really sad.
That makes me really sad.
I'm just going to sit with all of these feelings.
Just going to sit with all of these feelings.
Because we're never trying to push them away, right? So let's go back to my brow. I feel like I'm getting everything wrong.
I feel like I'm getting everything wrong.
That side of the eye. I'm trying so hard.
I'm trying so hard.
Under the eye. I'm being so good.
Being so good.
Under the nose. I'm so committed.
So committed. I'm following the rules.
Chin. I'm following the rules.
Following the rules.
Collarbones. And it feels like I'm still getting it wrong.
It feels like I'm still getting it wrong.
Under the arm. And that feels really sad.
And that feels really sad.
And it's making me doubt myself.
And it's making me doubt myself.
Yeah. Back to the eyebrow. All this sadness in my throat.
All the sadness in my throat.
Outside of the eye. I wonder if there's something I need to say.
I wonder if there's something that I need to say.
Anything coming out? Oh, just a nice big
yawn. What's coming
eye.
to me is just relax, it will happen. That's so annoying. It's not true. I'm really relaxed actually, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm really chill.
I am. I'm really
relaxed. Just somewhere else.
Under the nose. I do feel relaxed.
I do feel relaxed. I am.
Chin. I'm in love with my life.
I'm in love with my life. I do. I love my life. Absolutely love my life. It's brilliant.
I just wish I could make something happen.
I just wish I could make something happen.
Mm.
I have no say in any of it.
Oh, okay. Interesting where this is leading, right? So when you're listening, watch for this as well with yourself. What's the next thought that comes up under the arm? And I have no say in any of this.
I have no say in any of this.
Top of the head, or at least this is how it's making me feel.
And this is how it's making me feel.
So that's powerlessness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Eyebrow. I feel powerless.
I feel powerless.
Where is that in your body?
Throat still. Yeah.
Outside of the eye. This powerlessness in my throat.
This powerlessness in my throat.
Under the eye. I wonder if it's possible.
I wonder if it's possible.
Under the nose. That in following all the rules.
That in following all the rules.
Chin. And being such a good girl.
And being such a good girl.
Collarbones. Maybe I haven't allowed myself to voice what I really think.
Maybe I haven't allowed myself to voice what I really think.
Under the arm. There's something that is making me feel powerless.
There's something that's making me feel powerless.
Top of the head. And I don't necessarily have to know what it is.
I don't necessarily have to know what that is.
I'm going to just stop and check in here. Let's go to the side of the hand. Take a nice deep breath. So, sharing only as much as you're comfortable sharing.
Mhm.
Are you aware of where that powerlessness might come from, or have you ever been shushed in the past when you come up with a big idea? Or
Yeah, I've got various. Well, I'm just thinking of younger versions of me.
Mm.
Nothing too specific, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to pin down something. It's almost like that. If you want something for your birthday and you got to wait, and you don't know if you're going to get it or not, that's
Yeah.
going to come into mind.
Yeah.
I really wanted a Love a Lot Care Bear.
Oh,
And I remember seeing it in the shop and I wasn't allowed to have it. And I think I got one for Christmas on my birthday, but it was like, and I didn't know I was going to get one, but I was just like, it was only there and I could just have it. I didn't have
okay.
any of my own money. I think it was £12 in 1982 or something. When did they come out? Later than
Okay.
that. But it was like just within reach and I couldn't have it. And I was asking for it and it was a no. So that's the kind of like
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
theme. It's definitely same dynamic. And that's making me a little bit, I can feel
Yeah.
feel like younger me going, please, please, it's only there.
So let's tap on that, because you can see how that mirrors the current feeling, can't you? And is
Yeah.
probably the root reactions of it. So
And it's like, it's so easy for you to give that to me. Why can't you just do it? It's the same. It's like so easy. Just someone come and buy my house. So easy.
yeah. So on the eyebrow, and again, play along if you're listening or watching. Why can't I just have it?
Why can't I just have it? It's right there.
Outside of the eye, it's right in front of me.
Right in front of me.
Under the eye, I can almost touch it.
Almost touch it.
Under the nose, it would be so easy for someone to just give it to me.
Because I can't take it. I
Yeah.
can't get it. It'd be so easy for someone to get it for me.
Yeah. Chin. Because it's out of my control.
Because it's out of my control.
Collarbones. I don't have the money for it.
Don't have the money for it.
Under the arm, it would be up to someone else to give it to me.
It would be up to someone else to give it to me.
Top of the head. And that's not happening.
And that's not happening.
And the little girl in me, or the little person in me,
The little person in me,
outside of the eye, it's just going, why?
it's just saying, why?
Under the eye. And then maybe there's a part of me that's wondering,
And then maybe there's a part of me that's wondering,
under the nose, what have I done wrong?
what have I done wrong? And she feels unloved.
Mm. Yeah.
If you love me, you give it to me.
Yeah.
Oof, bless her.
It's a big thread, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
The little part of me is feeling unloved.
A little part of me is feeling unloved.
Collarbones. And I recognize the fact,
And I recognize the fact
under the arm, that if there's an underlying vibration,
that if there's an underlying vibration
top of the head, that is attached to the not having
that is attached to the not having,
eyebrow, and I'm currently not having what I want,
and I'm currently not having what I want,
side of the eye, that must mean that I'm feeling unloved.
that must mean that I'm feeling unloved.
Under the eye, whether it's true or not.
Whether it's true or not, and it's not true because I'm loved deeply.
Exactly.
So was she.
I'd like all parts of me to know,
I want all parts of me to know
on the chin, that this is just a root reaction.
this is just a root reaction.
Collarbones, this is just a familiar way of relating.
It's just a familiar way of relating.
Under the arm, it was installed when I was really little.
It was installed when I was really little.
Top of the head, and I told myself something about me.
And I told myself something about me.
Eyebrow, I made it mean that there was something wrong.
I made it mean that there was something wrong.
Outside of the eye, or I wasn't good enough somehow.
Or I wasn't good enough somehow. Or I was unlovable.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So not being able to have what I want.
So not being able to have what I want.
Under the nose, and feeling like it's out of my control to get it.
Feeling like it's out of my control to get it.
Chin is bringing on this feeling of being unloved.
It's bringing on this feeling of being unloved and being unlovable.
Unlovable, yeah. Collarbones. There's a very young part of me that feels unlovable.
It's a very young part of me that feels unlovable.
Under the arm. Every time I can't get hold of something I want.
Every time I can't get hold of something I want.
Top of the head, and the universe is a magnetic place.
And the universe is a magnetic place. Just
Eyebrow. So
fabulous.
whilst this is not my fault at all,
Whilst this is not my fault at all,
outside of the eye, I acknowledge I need to give myself some compassion.
I acknowledge that I need to give myself some compassion.
Under the eye, my body is just responding in an old way.
My body's just responding in an old way.
Under the nose, my energy is following suit.
My energy is following suit.
Chin. And it's hard for things to come to me.
And it's hard for things to come to me.
Collarbones. And I wonder how I can release this feeling of being unloved or unlovable.
I wonder how I can release this feeling of being unloved and unlovable. And I know that I'm loved, so it's easy.
Yeah.
I just need to tell her. Just gonna do that.
Yeah, pop in.
Okay,
So
pop
if you're
in.
listening, and you want to do this, find that little version of you. Just imagine her or him or them, and just go and tell them what you think they need to hear right now. And if you want to tap somewhere, you can. We often like butterfly tapping. That's really powerful. So you can cross your hands over and tap underneath your collarbones. And just imagine that you're there with your inner child, if you like, the younger you. And you're giving them the love and the reassurance that they need around the time that this first impression happened.
So it's interesting. There's a few other bits attached to this. It's actually a memory I've visited quite a few times for different reasons. So I'm helping her. She knows, I'm telling her she's loved. And there's something about people want like to give surprises.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice going, oh, they're going to really love that when they get it. But for the like however many months it was before I knew that I wanted it and then had to wait, by the time it came round, it was a time, all that time was like, I see other people with them, I want one. I'm like just feeling the lack of it. So I'm inviting her to create a little home for it. So when it comes home, it's got a little space. Where's it going to live? What's it going to be like? So she can sort of pave the way for it to come.
Nice.
And just as a little side thing, I remember watching Annie, the film, and being absolutely devastated, terrified. She was running up the thing, being chased or something. I can't remember. And I was really upset. And my sister's friend leaned over and went, she's going to be okay. And I was like, is she? Okay, thank God. Because I didn't understand that films were always okay. And knowing made such a difference to the rest of the film.
Yeah.
That's why I want to, like, I know my flat's going to sell. I know it. Of course it is. So if I can kind of get to that feeling, you can do the waiting if you know what's coming. But because I didn't know I was going to get it, and I thought, no, you can't have it because I don't love you, basically, is what she decided, even though that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Like, you can have what you want. It's just sometimes it takes time. It's fine.
Yeah.
So if she'd heard that at the time, like maybe put it on your birthday list. And maybe that was said. I don't know. I don't remember. All I remember is just going, I can't have what I want, and it's right there.
And I'm not being given it, and therefore it means that
I'm not loved. Yeah.
We make these connections when we're very, very young, and we make it mean something about us because we're not in a place to know anything different. We don't have the capacity that we do as an adult to rationalize and be the nurturing parent to ourselves at that age.
Yeah.
Right. And so the things that we tell ourselves, the stories and the blueprints that we put in place or that are given to us at that time, especially if there was anything in someone's family that backed up, you have to work hard to be loved, or you have to be perfect, or other things, they can conjoin, right? And they can make it really difficult for us to feel like we can have things easily and that we deserve it and all the rest of it. And every single one of those things will affect somebody's vibration. Yeah, without fail. And you may or may not know what that is. And that's what leads to the confusion, because this is just an energetic imprint from years gone by that is stuck in the nervous system, stuck in the energy field. So it's not on a conscious level, and I can't state that enough. Yeah, it's not on a conscious level. And only by going and doing sessions like this, where you follow the thread and you follow what's in your body, do you have a better chance usually of
Yeah, you can just unlock it.
yeah,
Yeah. And when you have
yeah,
the conscious understanding of like, well, that makes sense why I would feel that and why, it's logical. It's
exactly.
not relevant, it's not true, but that is running part of your unconscious mind.
Yeah.
And the unconscious mind has absolute control. 96% or something of your consciousness is your unconscious.
Alarming,
Tiny
isn't
little speck is the bit that you know about. It's like, what?
it? On the dog. Yeah,
So when you
absolutely.
exactly, apparently it's
Crazy.
the size of a pea compared to Australia or something.
Yowza. Okay. Well, that makes sense then, doesn't it? So, what's really important, and what I would love to wrap this up if you're amenable to it, is just a round or two of what I call nurturing parent tapping. So, if anybody is familiar with transactional analysis, we've got 3 ego states: parent, adult, child. And when we've got this adapted child state of I have to please everybody in order to be okay, or whatever, it's really to get us into the logical adult state. We don't need a critical parent voice, we need a nurturing parent voice, just to remind us. And so we'll finish on that, because we've spoke to the inner child, we've accessed some of the parts. So
Yeah,
let's
she's actually excited now that she's going to get it. She knows it's coming because I can tell her she's coming because I got one. So did my
yeah,
2 stepsisters. We all got one. One
love
was a
it.
pink Love-A-Lot one with 2 hearts on its tummy.
Very nice.
Picked.
Very nice. So
No idea where it is, how long I had it for.
yeah.
Obviously didn't keep it after all that. All right.
Yeah. So we're going to speak directly, using the word you,
Mm-hmm.
to that younger part of you, and you can tap along, those who are listening and watching. Okay, so you are absolutely fine.
You are absolutely fine.
Outside of the eye, there is nothing wrong with you.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Under the eye, there's no reason you couldn't have that thing.
There's no reason you couldn't have that thing.
Under the nose, you're perfect as you are.
You're perfect as you are.
Chin, you're absolutely loved.
You're absolutely loved.
Collarbones, you're incredibly lovable.
You're incredibly lovable.
Under the arm, and you're infinitely deserving of everything you want.
And you're infinitely deserving of everything that you want.
Yeah, top of the head. And it turns out absolutely fine.
And it turns out absolutely fine.
Yeah. Eyebrow, you have the power to create what you want.
You have the power to create what you want.
Now, the outside of the eye, you might have felt powerless then.
You might have felt powerless then.
Under the eye, but that energy can release now.
But that energy can release now.
Under the nose, and you can get back into energetic alignment.
And you can get back into energetic alignment.
Chin, you can open up to receive everything you want.
You can open up to receive everything that you want.
Collarbones, knowing that you're fully deserving and loved.
Knowing that you're fully deserving and loved.
Under the arm, and that you've released the connection to this.
And that you've released the connection to this.
Top of the head. You're so very loved.
You're so very loved.
Okay, we'll stop there. Take a nice deep breath for me. Put my knit nurse glasses back
water.
on. Yeah.
It's always important to drink water, just as a little add-in to keep the body cleansed when you're tapping. Thank you.
How do you feel now, my love?
Yeah, lovely. Very peaceful, and I'm quite excited. Because like when it happens, like I know what's coming next is all going to come in a rush. Like everything's lined up. The time that it has taken to get to this point has allowed other plans to take place. When you trust the process. Yeah, that's the one that kind of, when you've aligned with it and go with it and trust that the next thing's going to happen at the right time, that's when it can, your birthday's never going to come before your birthday. Christmas is on the same day. It's going to be then. You can't make it hit tomorrow. If you take a cake out of the oven too early, it's not going to be a cake. Like you've got to let it develop and grow and bake.
Absolutely.
That is the trusting, knowing I've done all the bits, I've sent out the message, and now I've just got to wait for it to
and you can see, if that was like the bat, the bat signal, the bat light, or the Care Bear heart light, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's those little bits of doubt that get in the way of that strong vibration underneath it all, logically, you're doing everything right.
Yeah.
You're taking all the action, you're doing all the releasing, you visualize all the things. And those little things that just get in front of that signal and skew it a little bit by bit, we can just wash them
Yeah.
off, dissolve them out of the way, so that that signal is nice and strong. And there's nothing in there that when you say it's coming, there's no
Yeah.
little voice going, no, it's not. What about
Yeah.
this? It's out of your control, remember? Do you remember that, the thing when you were 7 or whatever?
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting. And it isn't always the case that it's going to be done and finished in one session, because there's infinite little things that get in the way of that heart light, right?
Yeah. And it's
But
such a benefit because, like, I go to Confusion and everyone goes, oh, yeah, people don't buy houses in November. Yes, they do. That's
do.
the bit that comes in, go, yeah, people buy houses every day. Sorry, I don't believe it. That's not relevant. What's relevant is that you're in the process, it's happening. Relax, let it happen. Any of these things that come up, just clear them. Use it to clear it. I always say when people want to leave their job, clear your stress and all the things that you don't like about your job, clear your reaction, do the tapping, do the work before you get a new job. Otherwise, you're going to go into exactly the same situation somewhere else. Use the current situation to clear out, get all the little nitty gritty bits of pain and irritation and frustration, write them down, tap on them, clear them, get help if you need to, then leave your job, or your job transforms and you start enjoying it, or then find something else. Otherwise, you're just going to do it there with someone else.
I can't remember who it was that said, everywhere you go, there you are.
Yeah.
Might have been Gavin or someone like that. But and it's very true. And there's a question that I'll sort of finish with that I now ask myself whenever I'm in that state, which is regularly because I'm human and I'm in a meat suit that is designed for risk and survival, which is lovely. And I ask myself, what is right about this that I'm not getting?
Yeah.
Like you've just said, it's giving you time to bake and to get ready. And there's maybe something around the corner that you don't know about yet that you need that flat for. And at the right time, it will sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Same with everything anyone else is going on, and there's a caveat, obviously, that, like we've said, there are big things in the world that are outside of your control, and you can still manage your vibration.
Exactly. You can still feel good.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't sell for 3 years, I love it here. It's fine. There's lots and lots of good things to appreciate about it. I'm here as long as I'm here.
Yeah. Love it.
So coming next week, I'll be coming from a new address.
I might get a text this afternoon to say, it's sold.
Just sold the flat.
Ash.
I will announce that.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really helped. And that, just to this is why it's really important to tap with someone else, because when you're tapping on your own, you can get distracted by that, and just the kind of someone catching you and going, okay, what is it now? What is this feeling now? And just to do the guidance. That's why you can get so far on your own, but you need other people. We have tapped for years. We know what we're doing. We still have sessions with colleagues.
Yeah. And if we could sort ourselves out, we would have done it by now, because we've been doing it for this long. The point is when you're leading yourself in tapping, your conscious mind is leading, and your conscious mind is driven by your subconscious, which is habit and repetition based on the familiar past.
Yeah. And your unconscious mind doesn't want to disrupt the foundation stones of I'm not good enough and things, because it thinks it's right and it thinks that's how the world is, which is why it needs the conscious work to go in, change it and go, oh no, this is the way the world is. You can be happy. Okay, cool. We'll do that then. Yeah. It doesn't really care what the beliefs are. It just holds on to them.
Yeah, because actually, if you look at that in terms of survival, if you are right, it means you're safe and you won't die. If you are if you hold a strong belief and it's proven wrong, and the floor's whipped out from under you, there's a risk there, right? So even when you boil that back, everything is about your subconscious and unconscious mind trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you alive. It's as simple as that.
Above all else, doesn't care how you feel, doesn't care how your day went. It's like, well, you're alive though, right? Yeah, I got you through that. Like, it doesn't care how tall you are, where you live, what you're doing. It just wants you to be alive.
That's why comfort zones are so uncomfortable, because even if they feel like shit, excuse the French, they'll keep us there, because the pain of or the change, the change
thought of it,
so risky, so
Oh, I want to do the next one already. There's too much to say right now.
I know. So you might have a
Ooh,
sneak
we're going to be
preview on our next
grounding again next week. Yeah. Amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. Feeling good.
You are too. Loved it.
Yeah. Lots of love. So people, if you enjoyed that, you know where we are. Get in touch. Come and buy
And
my
please do
house.
feel free to share this as well.
Yeah, please.
We would love
Yeah.
your help getting it out to other people. So if this helped you and you know somebody who you think it might impact, please get it into their hands, however that is. There's all the share feeds everywhere and all of our socials every Friday. Grab
Spread the
it,
word.
share it.
Yeah. Fab. All right. Thanks, love. See
Have
you
a lovely
next
day.
time. You too.
Bye.
Bye.